Well, this car has come to a standstill over the last 7 days because I've been trying to soften the rubber mat so that I can do the jacking points, and I've been using wintergreen oil, and it's used in medicine and things like that. And on YouTube, like what they say is mix this with rubbing alcohol. Well, we don't seem to know what that is in the UK. So I went onto eBay and Amazon to look for some rubbing alcohol, and on one of the adverts it had in brackets IPA, and that got me thinking. I used to use IPA where I used to work to degrease tooling things, and I looked in my trolley and I actually had some IPA RS do it, or used to do it. Unfortunately, this was about half full, but there was no pressure in the can and I couldn't get it out. So what I've done is I've drilled a little hole, and there was no pressure in there. I drilled a little hole and I drained that into a jam jar, and what I've been doing is I've been putting about 20 millilitres of this in a little jar, and then just putting a few dabs of this, I don't know, probably about 10 drops of this into it, and then I've been brushing it on every day. So on YouTube, what they're doing is that they're soaking little components, they're actually immersing the components in this solution. Obviously I can't do that with a mat, so I've been brushing it on, leaving it overnight, brushing it, leaving it overnight, and I've got to the point now where I've got the mat up. So now I'm going to try to move the mat out or up somehow so that I can get to the metal floor. Feels as though it's stuck on the tunnel there. Oh shit. It is a lot softer than it was before, definitely. Now the steering wheel's stopping it. The problem is, that's great now, I can get to the floor, but if I leave it like this overnight, it's all going to droop down. Maybe I can, what I might do is put a support under here. Let's put this up a bit. Yeah, I need to put something under here now. That should be alright. Stop it dropping down. Yeah, so now, this has been up before. That's interesting. Yeah, oh yeah, I can see there where I've had this up before, where I welded that plate on. Yes, of course I did. Yeah, it just goes to show that in the early 80s this rubber was lovely and flexible, because it didn't damage it at all when I did that. So I reckon in the last 10 or 20 years being in this garage, it's dried it out. Well, it was a bit of a disaster, that was. I ended up with a big hole in the tunnel, and this is all disintegrated here. So it's trying to make the best of a bad job. Right, I've got the floor back to bright metal now. I'll use paint stripper to get the paint off, and I'll use these 2 wire brushes to get the rust off. The problem I've got now is when I removed the old jacking point, because I couldn't see where these spot welds were, and I was chiseling and banging and bumping and round, and it's like a mountain now. It's all up and down. So now I've got to panel beat that flat. So if I put that wall where the chassis rail is, it's all nice and straight, even over 12 inches. It's lovely and straight. So that's what I need. That's what I need to do here. Let's see where I'll be putting the chisel in it. Right, this side is a bit worse than the other side, so this is all disintegrated. So when I took this up, there's more rust all the way over here. So I'm going to take all the paint off of here, get it all back to bright metal, and I will paint the whole footwell. Right, I'm ready to try to fit this into the car now. I've got some hardboard under here, so I'm just going to try to get it in. It's going to be easier because I've taken the steering wheel off. I don't know why I didn't do it before. So here we go. So that's the end of this video. The last thing I've done is super glue the rubber mat on the passenger side, but I've run out of super glue. So there's another tube coming today, and I will finish the driver's side off today, and then I will post some pictures of the end result of that rubber mat. So that's this video finished. My next video will probably be, I'm not saying definitely, probably will be painting the underbody. On the passenger side I couldn't get all the wrinkles out because there's a lump on the bodywork, and I think that lump there is to miss the slave cylinder for the clutch. So I've just done the best I could, and that's the end result. I'm leaving the driver's side as it is for now because that may have to be moved a little bit when I get all the wires through and the speedo cable after I've fitted the engine, and I'll put all that wiring harness back.